ViolaDavis, Idris Elba, Damson Idris and Thuso Mbedu to star in Gina Prince Blightwood adaptation of TomiAdeyemi's best-selling fantasy series Children of Blood and Bone. And also Tom Cruise is not just a superstar but also a lover of cinema as he supports ballerina star AnaDeArmas and others during the premiere of their films. We'll be taking a look at this and more right here on the Film Mandate right here on YouTube. My name is Papa Otu. Stay tuned. Welcome to another exciting episode of the Film Mandates where I bring to you movie reviews, news, and reactions both from the African front and the international scene. My name is Papa Otu, and thank you so much for joining me for this very episode. We have some exciting news today, and for those who a couple of years ago watched the collaboration between Gina Prince Blightwood, one of the amazing film directors who directed Love and Basketball, collaborated with Viola Davis in the movie Woman King, a movie that was critically acclaimed, depicting female warriors in the city or in the country of Benin in centuries ago. And this time around, they are collaborating once again, but not just any other story, but an adaptation of the best-selling fantasy series by a Nigerian American, TomiAdeyemi, a novel that has been high praised, and it is exciting for those of us from this part of the world to see one of our own whose novel is not just a bestseller but also being adapted onto the screen. So I thought I would lead with that story in particular, which was published in the L magazine. In the L magazine, and it's written by Juliana Ukiyomogbe and Lauren Pocket Pope. I hope I got the names right. And it says that Children of Blood and Bone, what we know so far about the movie adaptation. If you haven't read TomiAdeyemi's best-selling fantasy series, now's the time to catch up. One of the most celebrated YA young adult novels in recent history, TomiAdeyemi's Children of Blood and Bone is finally making its way to the big screen. The first installment in Adeyemi's legacy of Orisha fantasy trilogy, the book and its follow-ups have become enormous hits, and Paramount Pictures has brought in an impressive talent lineup to shepherd the adaptation. In 2024, Adeyemi told Elle that there was so much happening with the film, the rights to which Fox 2000 initially acquired in 2017 prior to the book's publication. But after the Walt Disney Company acquired 21st Century Fox, a series of transitions eventually led to the rights expiring, and Paramount Pictures scooped up Children of Blood and Bone in 2022. Since then, Variety reports the project has been a top priority for the studio leadership. Here's what we know so far about the film so far. What is Children and Bone? Adeyemi's story follows Zelie Adebola as a young woman in the West African inspired land of Orisha, where magic has been all but erased thanks to King Saran's persecution of Zelie's brethren. Zelie must team up with her brother Tizane as well as the king's children, Princess Amari and Prince Inan, to take control of their powers, rebel against the monarchy, and restore magic to the land. Who is in the cast? Children of Blood and Bone has a stacked ensemble. Thuso Mbedu, Tosin Cole, Amandla Stenberg, and Damson Idris will round out the film's leads, with Mbedu, the Woman King, as Zelie, Cole, the Force Awakens, as Zelie's brother, Zane Stenberg, the acolyte, as Princess Amari, and Idris Snowfall as Princess Inan. Joining them are ViolaDavis as Mama Agba, Chiwetel Ejiofor as King Saran, Cynthia Erivo as Admiral Kaye, and Idris Elba as Lekan, and Lashana Lynch as Jumoke. Who is behind the scenes on Children of Blood and Bone? Readers fret, Readers fret not. Adeyemi is heavily involved in the adaptation of her beloved series, executive producing and co-writing the script alongside director Gina Prince Bythewood, sorry, pardon me. Equally beloved for her work directing such films as Love and Basketball, The Secret Life of Bees, The Old Guard, and The Woman King. Adeyemi described working with Prince Bythewood in a 2024 Elle interview. She's the calmest force of nature I've ever witnessed, and collaborating with her has been so much fun. Adeyemi said, "What Gina does so well is tell these deep, complex stories of women who look like us front and center, with incredible action set pieces, incredible cinematography. It feels divine. It feels bigger than just making this project. We are really in sync." So the release date is the movie is scheduled to hit theaters on January 15th, 2027. And then, yeah, has production wrapped yet? Yes, on June 2nd, director Gina Prince Bythewood posted a carousel on Instagram with photos of her and the cast with the caption, "That is a wrap on production, 74 days, two countries and two islands, a passionate and dedicated crew, and an extraordinary cast who gave everything, and the journey has just begun." So there in your shorts, you have the official Instagram page of Gina Prince Bythewood, who is showcasing the clapperboard that has uh, details of the production on it. And then moving on, we see Tuso Mbedu and the director, as well as Damson Idris and the rest, some of the cast in the. Hmm. I'm so excited for this production so much. I will be honest. I'll be honest that I haven't really heard much about the fantasy series, and in getting to see it, I can understand even my own excitement and that of the cast and the people's excitement. For those who have watched the filmography of Gina Prince Bythewood, at least the four that was mentioned here: Love and Basketball, Old Guard, Woman King, and others, you know that she is more than capable. One of the things I realized is that she's able to bring to bear such depth of emotion and character development, particularly among, with her women characters or female characters, so to speak, and it's she always develops them with such power and able to create powerful character dynamics among the leads and the supports, and I've always loved her movies, particularly for me, Love and Basketball, the way she was able to develop that relationship dynamic between Sana Lathan's character and that of Omar Epps' character, and that was phenomenal. And looking at what she's done so far, with the likelihood of bringing the same to bear on this, it will be amazing. You watched Woman King, obviously. I mean, if you haven't, you need to go back and take a look at this. This very film I'm referring to. It is exceptional the way ViolaDavis was able to envelope that character of the woman warrior. And for most of us who began watching the film, we didn't even know that Tuso Mbedu's character was actually her daughter. But you could feel the tension and the dynamic between a mother and a daughter when they were interacting on screen. So I mean, looking at what they have in store for us from this very adaptation, I can tell you for a fact that it's going to be really good. And I'm excited because my excitement also stems from the fact that this fantasy series is not just any other fantasy series, but from the words of TomiAdeyemi herself, she was inspired by the stories of the Harry Potter series. So she's not just. I mean, let me just read an excerpt about the book and from the Wikipedia page for us to just have a sense of what she was referring to. So, Children of Blood and Bone. Yeah, I mean, so first, it says a 2018 young adult romantic Afro fantasy novel by Nigerian American novelist Tommy Adeyemi. The book, Adeyemi's debut novel and the first in her legacy of Orisha trilogy, follows heroine Zilla Adebola as she attempts to restore magic to the kingdom of Orisha following the ruling class Kosidan's brutal suppression of the class of magic practitioners Zeli belongs to, the Magi. So, writing the book took over 18 months and 45 drafts. Adeyemi drew inspiration from novels like Harry Potter and An Ember in the Ashes, as well as the West African mythology and the Yoruba culture and language. The hopelessness she felt at police shootings of Black Americans also motivated her to develop the story of Children of Blood and Bone. The book received one of the biggest young adult publishing deals ever, including preemptive sale of film rights to Fox 2000 Pictures. So, I mean, for her to take inspiration from some of these fantasy series that have been dominating our screens today is indeed exciting. And that is what even makes me more excited. For those who have read the books of Harry Potter and also watched the film series of Harry Potter, you know how big a deal these property is. And I'm excited that this is a bestseller, but I'm hoping that even the film blows out bigger and better than even the books have made because we need African stories to be told on screens, regardless of whether it's fictional or whether it is original. I mean, fictional or even documentary, whichever way it may be. So I'm excited in particular, and I'm also happy as stated in the L article, that Tomi Adeyemi herself is involved in the adaptation process. I'm not so sure whether she's the one writing the script. I believe that yes, she is the one adapting her own story from the novel into the live action film. And I'm excited because we need more of African stories to be told on screen. There has never really been enough. I mean, on the international stage, rubbing shoulders with the IP properties from Hollywood and others. So it excites me to know that this is happening. This is happening. I didn't know about the books. I'll admit, but henceforth, my intention is to buy them, and read all three um, films, or sorry, all three novels in the series, all three novels in the series. So it is indeed exciting, and I'm happy that that is happening for both Tony Adeyemi and Gina Prince Bythewood. I mean, I'm excited, and my hope that this becomes Oscar contenders when the time comes around. Oscar contenders, not just for the story, but for the writer of this story, the director, the leads of these movies as well. I'm praying that it makes a splash on the international stage in a capacity that has never been seen before, just as Harry Potter did so well, and the Lord of the Rings also made a splash years back with 13 Oscar wins. I hope so for this as well. I hope so for this as well, where this would dominate the box office so much so that it's open a door that can never be shut for African, stories, both from the continent and beyond. So I would say congratulations are in order to Gina Prince Bythewood, and also TomiAdeyemi, an American Nigerian. We are really proud of you. Keep going, girl. Keep going, because we are so much in support of your story, and we can't wait to see this adaptation on screen. And hey, I would encourage all of you who is a film fan to also buy these books and let's read them and know what to expect. But if you also want to go into it without any spoilers, without knowing anything, that is also fair. But hey, let's get reading as well. So this sums up my first story, and I'm so excited about this development. But moving on from the adaptation of stories from the African front to the international scene, we have Tom Cruise, who is not just a superstar, but also a true lover of films. A true lover of films. And over just this past weekend, AnaDeArmas movies or movie Ballerina, which is a spin-off of John Wick, premiered in the cinema, and as usual, Tom Cruise showed up to lend his support. And Tom Cruise have been doing this for a while now. He went to Glenn Powell's screening of his um, the natural disaster movie, and then he also went to Sinners to support Sinners as well, and he's been doing that for a lot of the films, and he is indeed a lover of cinema, and his he is advocating that film fans keep going to the films or to the cinema to watch films and not just on our small screens at home. And this is what Variety, Jack Dunn and Mark Malkin had to say about this article. Ballerina star Ana de Armas says Tom Cruise supports every movie and really wants audiences to go to the theaters. We are working together. AnaDeArmas is returning the praise to Tom Cruise. At Tuesday night's premiere of Ballerina at the TLC Chinese Theater in Hollywood, star De Armas said it is unbelievable that Cruise made the effort to publicly endorse the film. She also made sure to emphasize that his support of cinema does not begin and end with the John Wick spin-off. You know what? You know what? He supports every movie. Diamas told Variety's Mark Malkin. He really wants the industry and cinema to do well and wants people going to the theaters. We are working together. So he got to see Ballerina and he actually really liked it. He loved the John Wicks. She continued, it is very special that someone like him is supporting Ballerina. It is really special in general to have other actors and people supporting each other. We can do well all together. While on the press tour for Mission Impossible, The Final Reckoning, Cruise was vocal about his support of Ballerina and gushed about the dedication he's seen from the Armas, Keanu Reeves, and the entire John Wick team. John Wick, I love that franchise and what those guys do. Cruz told, I know what it takes to create these kinds of stories and do it. And now they have Ballerina coming out with Anna. That's outstanding. Ballerina, which takes place between the third and fourth John Wick films, follows the Amas as an assassin trained in the traditions of the Rosca Roma organization, who sets out to seek revenge after her father's death, according to the official logline. The Armas also talked about the intense stunt work she did in the action-packed film. Everything hurts, she said. My hands, my nails were broken, bruises everywhere. My neck. It was a lot of fun, actually. So that is the words from Ana de Armas, such a powerful actress who starred in I think the last installment of James Bond, and now she is in this as well. She is a superstar in her own right, very powerful actress, and yes, indeed, John Wick would be one of the films that Tom Cruise would love. I mean, not to say he doesn't love other movies. He loves all movies. He's passionate about movies. That is who he is. he's passionate about cinema, and it shows in his work. He goes 200% and even more in whatever production he does. And for John Wick, which happens to be a franchise that involves a lot of stunt works, definitely Tom Cruise will be of high praise for this film, not because of the stunt works necessarily, but because it is even cinema as a whole. And I'm happy about that because for those of us who are film fanatics or film pundits or whichever name you may give us, we want cinema or the theater going culture to continue because that is one of the main engines of revenue generation for films as a whole. Before, when it is put on streaming, it also have there's other benefits of generating fans as well. But the main live wire or funding or revenue generation is through the cinemas, and we can't allow it to die or diminish. And we've seen over the years that it even performs better when it has gone through the cinema, and then where there are DVD sales, it also performs well because the word of mouth travels far and wide. And then right after the post-pandemic era, movies have struggled to perform. It is now that we are seeing a general overboard performance for all the movies, even though some are still trying to break even and all. But on the wider front, it looks like cinema is now picking up gradually. And as film fans, we don't want these films to be stopped, in its productions. So we are also hopeful that the revenue will pick up, big time to help support the filmmakers to produce the content we so much love, the films we so much love. And I'm happy that Tom Cruise, as one of the biggest and bankable stars in Hollywood or film in general, is advocating for the theater going culture to keep on going, and not just that, but to support films in general. So that is indeed a um, welcome initiative by a superstar whose film have been making big names over the years. And just recently he released the Mission Impossible Final Reckoning, and I mean, when you see the way he conducts himself with even the cinema, those who work in the cinemas, it is amazing. He lends his support. He really respects them so much because these are the people who help make our attendance of the cinema comfortable. Yes, there may be pockets of instances where maybe a cinema person may misbehave, but rarely do you hear that. And regardless of your experience at the cinema, we love that environment. It for those of us who are not really sports fans, the cinema is like our arena where we enjoy films, where we cheer on our players, not in the area of sports, but our players in the area of film. And it's exciting when you have a superstar like that also a fan of films, not just in the film, but a fan of the films themselves. And it's exciting. So yeah, Ballerina in itself, it's a movie to watch because for those who had opportunity to attend CinemaCon and saw excerpts of the footage, they were blown away. And they were blown away. And for those of us who had opportunity to watch excerpts of the trailers, it is amazing. It is amazing. You know that John Wick in itself is a powerful film, a powerful franchise. From the very first one to the fourth one, we've been thrilled by, the action set pieces by Keanu Reeves and his team, and Charles Stileski have always delivered on these franchises. And looking at what Ballerina is yet to do, we can't be more excited for the film, and also coming up John Wick 5 as well. So I'm excited about all these developments happening, and I hope that Ballerina will get the necessary support that the John Wick franchises have been getting as well. Even more so than even the John Wick franchises, since it's the latest installment in the series as well. And once it performs well, we know that John Wick 5 will also be doing even much better. And it in this particular film, John Wick himself, that is Keanu Reeves, is not just featuring in as a cameo. Apparently, he's coming in as more or less like a supporting role. I mean, he's not dominating the film as I mean throughout though, but his presence is really in this film as well. So we'll be looking forward to seeing them in the cinemas. I mean, to seeing Keanu Reeves and AnaDeArmas, team up in the cinemas. If I'm not mistaken, I think this is the first time they are, you know, acting together. So it will be exciting to see the John Wick himself and the super prowess of AnaDeArmas, working together in an action film. So yeah, this sums up my second story for today. Indeed, it has been some exciting stories to deliver on the front of, I mean, in the film mandates, particularly for those of us who are passionate about films and also passionate about what Africa should be doing on the film front. So, thanks to Paramount for bringing this Adeyemi series to bear. I mean, TomiAdeyemi series to bear, and I mean, I'm so excited. I'm so excited, and so thank you so much for joining me for this episode of the Film Mandate. I'll be coming your way once again with some exciting stories on the Film Mandate. I'm Papa Otu. I'll see you tomorrow.